Welcome back, everyone. I've got the contractoring trailer here, and I find it rather interesting that in this safety-crazy world, if you want to buy a vehicle, you got to get a 30-year mortgage because you need 47 airbags and a cybernetic chauffeur. Yet when you get another vehicle to attach to that vehicle to haul all the weight, it doesn't even have to have brakes. And here we have a vessel that's rated to add up to 3,000 pounds. So, a couple thousand kilograms is pretty close. And the axle has the flange to bolt brakes onto it. And this whole set of drum brakes here cost me, about 150 bucks, I think? So how much could it possibly have cost Big Trailer? Oh well. I'll do it myself, again. So of course, to make use of trailer brakes, you need a trailer brake controller, which is really fairly simple. I find this one fits nicely in a small Nissan truck like this, and can be had rather cheaply at the bay. An installation of one of those is fairly simple. It just needs power, ground, a line to the brake pedal, and then the output line to the trailer. So in the case of this brakeless trailer, it came with a stupid 4-pin plug, so I'll change that over to the big round 7-pin thing and attach it to this assembly. Here you got 2 wires on each one power, 1 ground. Doesn't matter which way, it's just a magnet. So you'll take the line that you choose to be the positive from each drum and tie them together, attach it to the single line running to the trailer connector. Fairly simple rig. It's like pretty standard drum brakes, except that it's actuated magnetically here. That becomes a magnet when power is applied, and this face sticks to the inside of the drum. The inside of the drum there, and the rolling motion will pull it one way or the other, which levers the shoes outward, like so. Works both ways. And there is that mounting flange for the drum brakes. So, we'll bolt the brake assembly here to that flange, and then our brake drum becomes the new hub. We'll remove this hub and replace it with this. So it's pretty standard stuff if you've done wheel bearings like this or drum brakes before. Here's the kit. Comes with all new inner and outer bearings, hubcaps, seals, cotter pins, and your nuts there. New lug nuts. It's got both kinds of hubcap there for if you've got a grease fitting in the middle. But what does not appear to be in this kit are the nuts to hold these brake assemblies onto the flange. But fortunately, I've got all these U-bolts left over from when I broke all the original springs off this trailer. And these nuts happen to fit. It's a 7/16 fine thread. And then, if you watched that video, you'll recall I stripped one of those nuts out, so I rummaged around on the bench, found this castle nut from a tie rod or something, which also fits good enough. Then we got some 12mm split washers, which would be about 1mm too large, so close enough. And I know it's really cool to be all down on the split washer right now on YouTube, Nothing really works but the Nordlock. And well, that may be true in heavy industry and like mining equipment. I've never had any problem with nuts backing off of things around here. So now the standard sort of disassembly. There we go. Tappa tappa. And there's another locking approach for you. Where this hub assembly recently came apart on the road. Almost lost the wheel where the bearings pulled through. This is actually a new hub. I had to clean up the shaft and all, get everything smoothed back out. I had to tighten the nut with the new bearings a few times before they were seated properly. But then in that process, whatever was the locking washer for this was lost out on the road somewhere. And so I've used painter's caulk. And I've been using that for quite a while. So, not a good idea, but it appears to have worked. But now with our new brake kit, we'll finally have a proper locking assembly for that. But with the good old-fashioned castle nut and cotter pin. Well, but then there's, this is the grease fitting type spindle, and there's no cotter pin hole in that. What else you got? I bet this is the guy that disappeared on me. Anyway, with that nut off, standard sort of, get off of there. There's a washer, there's a bearing. What's the holdup? Guess that's a little stuck on one of those rough spots in the spindle. Come on. Well, there's the bearing. Ow! Perfect. So much for that seal. But we have a new one. And I think I'll carry that hub with me, with the bearings, for future adventures. Okay, now one of these is labeled right. Let's just hope that's what side we're on. Just line up those studs there with this flange here, assuming I do that, and hey, that would have been so easy in a factory. Yeah, I've got all those nuts in place in the back there. I'll just torque them to spec. I won't say click. My torque wrench is broken. Yeah. Now we grease up the bearings. And I'll place it in there. And drive the seal in this direction. Grease, grease, grease. There's a million ways to do this, and they're all wrong. They're just one way or another, making sure that you drive grease into every area that it possibly can go. But let's not get it all over the inside of the drum. well, that's helpful. There, now this should take very little force. Just needs to be done evenly. Keep it square so we don't bend anything. And another clean towel and some brake cleaner. And we slide that into position. Shove some grease into the outer bearing position. Finish greasing the outer bearing. That in that way. Then we have a washer. And the lock washer. And a castle nut. Then I'm sure there is a preload specification here, but what always works is you get this until all of the play is out of the bearing, and then just a little bit more until you can get your locking mechanism into position. Then I'll bend this tab up into the slot in the nut. And you just check these things every so often. You can check it without even jacking it up. You just grab the tire and shake it. See if there's play in it. See if an adjustment needs to be made. There's also an adjustment can be made on the brake shoes, just like on old drum brakes that I know of. There's a slot in the back where you can slip a screwdriver or something and spin that adjuster to move the shoes outward. Get them closer to the drum if need be. Like so. So now all that needs to be done is, of course, the other side, which ought to be pretty similar to this side, and then to run the wiring, which is rather simple. You power and ground, and then follow the wiring diagram on your trailer plug. Something like that. Anyway, depends on your situation. But I think I've shown the important bit, and it's difficult to do a video in the dark, and I need to get this done, so I'm gonna leave you there. And if I survive, I'll give you an update. Thanks for watching.